Okay, so I still have the lathe up. That's fine for now. That's cool. But what I want to do is I want to start talking about materials. And materials are so important. That's what really brings your scenes to life when you're talking about anything in the 3D world. Now, we also need lights to really make those pop, but we're just going to focus on materials right now for this here. So, in order to create a material, you have this area down here. Now, there is this create button, and you can go in and load materials and all of that, but we want to go in and create our own. So, in order to do this, just double click anywhere down here. I'll double click, you can see matte, and you have this over here. I never really create any materials over here simply because I really like having the whole window open. It's fun for making little default changes, but when creating materials, I like to go in and double click here. All right, and it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. It's sort of basic, and you won't use all of these. At the most, I probably have about 3 of these checked at once, just depending. Now, sometimes you may have 4 or 5 depending on what you're actually doing, but for the most part, 2 to 3 is what you'll mostly have. And you'll see that color is checked and reflectance is checked. So that means that this material already has these loaded up. If I unselect it, you'll see color goes away. Reflectance, it automatically goes away. But I want to keep these. So let's go in and work a little bit with our color. So let's go in and change our color really quick. So if I click on color, there are multiple options here. Now you have this hue saturation and all of that, but mostly you like the RGB sort of selector. And in order to find that, you can click on this square that's right there. And this is the one that I actually like. Now you do have RGB here where you can punch in values. So I just click that and you can punch in your RGB values if you have values that you want. But usually I kind of work with this slider here. I don't exactly have perfect numbers unless you're trying to do something where design has a specific RGB value, then go ahead and punch in your numbers. But for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and find something maybe like a nice teal kind of. Yeah, that's about teal. And automatically, boom, we have color already on here. So if I hit X, just exit out, it's saved. And if you want to add this to your material, well, to your actual object, excuse me, you can just click and drag it. So I could click and drag it onto my object, or you can just click and drag it onto your lathe or whatever you have. So I'll just do it here, boom, let go, and there it is. And let's just hit this render button just so we can see what this material looks like. All right, it's very flat. We're not seeing really anything. We see the color, that's cool. But we really need to do a little more work to this material here to get it to work. But for the default, this is how you can actually set up your materials and get them running. So in the next video, we're going to go in and we're going to explain a little bit deeper about reflectance and then some of the other options that we have.